The Great Sphinx is considered one of the largest and oldest statues in the world. However, recent in-depth research into ancient Egyptian history suggests there may not have been just one, but two Great Sphinxes standing beside the pyramids on the Giza Plateau. Have you ever considered that the Sphinx we see in Egypt today once had a counterpart? In fact, it wasn't just the ancient Egyptians. The Greeks, Romans, and even Islamic scholars mentioned this second Sphinx. They even suggested that it was destroyed sometime between the years 1000 and 1200 AD. Could it be that this mysterious second Sphinx lies buried under tons of sand and stone beneath the Giza Plateau, right beside the one that still stands sentinel today? One of the scholars proposing this theory is Egyptologist Bassam el-Shamma. He has spent over a decade searching for this supposedly lost statue. So, what evidence does el-Shamma rely on to believe that another Sphinx exists on the Giza Plateau? First, let's look at ancient Egyptian history and the smaller Sphinxes found throughout Egypt. They are almost always found in pairs, embodying symmetry. The Great Sphinx of Giza is the only one that stands alone. This is highly unusual, and el-Shamma's perspective aligns with the ancient Egyptian belief in the principle of duality. However, the entire basis for this claim can't rest on this principle alone. To reach such a controversial conclusion about the Sphinx, Bassam el-Shamma had to spend years collecting archaeological data, ancient texts, and even an extraordinary satellite image provided by NASA. All of it seems to corroborate that his hypothesis is correct. Whenever we study the solar cult of the ancient Egyptians, we should consider the image of a pair of lions placed in parallel, facing either toward or away from each other, el-Shamma says. The Egyptologist also points to the ancient Egyptian myth of the creator god Atum, who gave birth to his son, Shu, and his daughter, Tefnut, in the form of lions. Depictions of this are numerous. In fact, one is located right under our noses. Between the paws of the current Great Sphinx lies the Dream Stele. This slab clearly depicts two sphinxes, one male and one female. Furthermore, the Egyptians believed that at sunset, the sun would journey through a tunnel within the earth, emerging on the other side at dawn. The two entrances of this tunnel were guarded by two deities, depicted as two separate lions, or as two lions joined at the hindquarters, their gazes fixed in opposite directions. Researcher Jerry Cannon, author of the book The Giza Genesis, The Second Sphinx, also argues that just as the Chinese see the Fu dog as a loyal guardian, the ancient Egyptians placed a pair of lion statues at the entrances of tombs and temples to protect these places from evil spirits. Additionally, Jerry Cannon was incredibly astute in noticing a difference between the two sphinxes on the stele. One has masculine arms, while the other possesses feminine features. Not only that, but many other examples in ancient Egyptian art also depict lion pairs as one male and one female. This led Jerry to a puzzling question. According to ancient Egyptian scribes like Keruef, the two Aker lions, representing yesterday and today, were both considered male. So, it's also possible that a second statue existed, carved in the form of a male sphinx. Beyond the belief that two sphinxes originally sat on the Giza Plateau, researchers have discovered some other interesting things about this structure. They determined that these sphinxes must have been carved from natural rock long before sand covered the area. This means the sphinxes had to have been carved when the region had a temperate or fertile climate. Because once it became a desert, carving such statues would have been impossible. And in fact, over 10,000 years ago, the Sahara, the world's largest desert where Egypt is located, was a lush, green savanna instead of the arid climate it has today. That would be the earliest time the two sphinxes could have been created. But at that time, Egyptian civilization had not yet emerged. Therefore, these two sphinxes must belong to a prehistoric civilization that predates the ancient Egyptians. They possessed an advanced technology far beyond what we even have today, a fact that mainstream historical theories struggle to explain. So what happened to this second statue that caused it to disappear? Based on ancient texts, el-Shamma believes a terrifying bolt of lightning destroyed it thousands of years ago. Beyond his analysis of ancient texts, el-Shamma obtained the latest visual evidence from NASA, thanks to their space-based imaging analysis system. This system can analyze the density of geological layers on the Giza Plateau and at the location of the Sphinx. With that image, we can clearly see the trace of a structure right at the location el-Shamma identified as the place for the second Sphinx. As el-Shamma explains, this signal is typically received from a wave with a wavelength between 1 cm and 1 meter, corresponding to a frequency of about 300 MHz to 30 GHz. Its returning echo is converted by digital equipment into an image. It produces many pixels, with each pixel representing a specific location that was scanned. When combined with my interpretation, these images, at the corresponding location, point to a second Sphinx. An image of the Giza Plateau from the Endeavour satellite, which has been publicly released, also seems to confirm this discovery. It gives the impression that lightning destroyed the statue, el-Shamma adds, and if we proceed with an excavation, we could find much more evidence of the second Sphinx. Authors Graham Hancock and Robert Bovall also seem to agree with the existence of a second Sphinx on the Giza Plateau. In their book, The Message of the Sphinx, they suggest the statue may have been created to represent the deities Atum and Hades. After being published in the press, this idea was supported by comprehensive research spanning more than a decade. The only thing missing for el-Shamma is an excavation permit that would allow him to prove whether or not a second Sphinx has existed on the Giza Plateau for over 5,000 years. What do you think? With this seemingly credible evidence, will our researcher discover this mysterious statue? If he does, perhaps it will provide humanity with crucial insights into ancient civilizations, especially the people who built the great monuments on the Giza Plateau. From my personal perspective, if the second Sphinx was indeed hidden, rather than destroyed by lightning, then there is surely something the ancients wanted to conceal. What about you? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support us in our future videos. For now, goodbye and see you again.